Well, getting more done. Another little update on some of the stuff we're doing around here. Got the driveway pretty much done, cleaned up. Got a lot of stuff out there we got to clean up still. Hang out for a little while. Enjoy the fun. All right, so I've got a really nice neighbor. I got a bunch of really nice neighbors. I've met most of the people around here. There's still a couple I haven't met. We're all on pretty large parcels, so it's kind of hard to meet everybody without driving a ways down the road and knocking on doors. But Richard's one of the first neighbors I met. Actually, he probably was the first neighbor I met. Came up here to show my wife and kids the property after we bought it, and we met him down by his pond. He's got a backhoe, so all this work that myself and my dad have been doing, cutting this driveway in, that's our driveway, straight up the road, about 300 feet. Well, Richard offered to pull his backhoe over here and dig the stumps out. I've got to have, there's a power pole right there. It's on the other side of the road. There's another power pole. It's slightly out of view, just between them pine trees. And I'm going to run the power underground. So the power company said that they could bend the pipe, the PVC that it runs through, just a little bit. They can kind of arc it. But Richard came by and pulled all the stumps out of the driveway that we couldn't get to. I mean, these stumps are massive. The oak tree stumps are just crazy. I mean, crazy deep for a small oak tree. I think this is an oak tree stump right here. Actually, that might be a pine. Doesn't go very deep. This looks more like an oak tree stump. It's got a big root coming out the bottom. For an oak tree that's, I don't know, 10 inches in diameter, that root can go down 3-4 feet before it's able to be cut off. You know, it's just they're stupid thick. And the power company wants to dig a trench 4 feet deep to put the power in. So I have to get these stumps out for them so they can dig a trench 4 feet deep. And he came out and just cleaned it up for me. No big deal. Spent a couple hours this morning. I wish there was more that I could video what's going on. It's just super hard to video it as you're doing it. It takes time to set the camera up and make sure it's got you in the film. And then if I'm videotaping somebody else and I'm not doing anything. So bear with me on some of the footage, and I can't get it. But you can see the changes as we make it coming up, you know. So there's the second power pole. I'm going to pull power off that pole and go underground. Come right down the driveway. Right down to there. This is our stack of good logs. All this is good wood. Tried to pile as much of the good wood in one area as we could, but this area is getting pretty full. So we'll have to find another area to pile good wood. As far as the rotten stuff and the limbs, we have piles everywhere, all over the place. Still got a couple things I gotta cut out. This oak tree has to come out so the well drilling company can come in, swing their equipment in. I got a couple of these trees cut down and around where they need to drill a well. And I've got the stumps marked. These are smaller stumps. marked them with orange stakes so that the guys that come out with their equipment, they know where they are. They say we don't have to pull the stumps, except for I want to pull this one right here and this other small one right back here. Those two stumps I want to pull because that's right where the well's going to go, where those 4 flags are. So, all in due time. It's getting tiring. 10, 12-hour days, taking breaks for lunch and eating something for dinner. The rest of the time just cleaning stuff up, getting a pathway going, and getting everything going that we have to get going. There's a lot to be done, but it'll happen. Give you a picture of a pretty good stump. I think this is a pine tree too. It's not even an oak tree. That thing was sitting in the ground. That is the root system. That's the top of it down there, obviously. All the roots of that backhoe dug out. Took them a minute. We had the luxury of it raining a little bit yesterday and last night, so it softened the ground up a little bit. And the ground it's actually topsoil. It's so much different than what I'm used to. I'm used to living in clay. Down where I live in California, this time of year, I couldn't even stick a shovel in the ground. I want to dig a hole, I've got to get a bucket of water and soak it for overnight. Maybe put a little drip system on it so it softens the ground up. It's just solid clay. Makes it really hard to dig anything. I come up here and I stick a shovel in the ground and I have to stand on it, step on it, it sinks in the ground and I can dig a hole. It's so nice. And I'd figure out, talking to the forestry guy, stuff up there in that pine tree, it's all lumped together. That is mistletoe in a pine tree. And there's a lot of it. Look around, you can see any of those twisted branches. That tree's got a lot of it. Pine tree right down there, got a lot of it in it. And they want you to cut that out, because as it happens, the mistletoe will have like a little spore sac. It'll pop and it'll float down to smaller trees. That's how it goes from tree to tree. So they want you to cut it out of the trees, but some of it's so tall I'd have a hard time cutting it out. And it's in most of the trees, so we'll see, little by little. Alright, hopefully you can see everything in the background that I'm going to talk about. This is where my house is going to sit. There's some orange flags that are potential corner markers. 2 up there, 2 down here. This other flag over here is where the septic tank is going to sit. That's probably out of your view. This one right here, the septic tank is going to sit in 2 bottom corners. As you can see, it slopes up that way, so I'll have to dig it out to make it level. So there'll be a little bit of maybe a retaining wall up there or something. I think it's only maybe 4 feet that I have to cut out, not too much. And it gives us a nice view of this little meadow down here. Got this little meadow down here. It goes off that direction. And these trees need to get thinned out. This is my burn pile. It's about 7 feet tall and I don't know how big around. I can't burn anything that big. I think your burn piles have to be 6 or 8 foot diameter, and the logs can't be stacked any higher than 4 foot. So it'll take a little while to burn. That, and there's a burn ban in. I think it started this week, and it won't lift until October, November, when it starts really getting into winter again. And then you can make your burn piles. But they don't let you burn during the summer, even in an open area, for fear that you would cause a fire and it would rip through this place faster than you can blink an eye. So it's coming along, doing all right. Driveway is pretty well cleared. You can see 4 flags over there, or 3 flags over there. That's where the power box is going to go, and the power is going to be underground up the driveway to the power pole. So I have a power box there that'll shoot power to the house when we get it made. The temporary power pole will be right where that axe is. You can see it, that axe and that red flag. That's where a temporary power pole will be to hook up the 2 trailers that we'll be living in until we build the house. It's I've got a mess to clean up, really, and I've got more trees to cut down to thin them out. Septic system will go over there, right across here, right past the burn pile. We're gonna dig perk test holes out here. Even the guy at the county, I'm kind of jumping ahead, plotting out where my house is gonna be. But even the guy at the county said the land around here perks no problem. So cutting trees down to put my house over here before I get a perk test is a little iffy. But everybody I've talked to, neighbors, the guy at the county, shouldn't be a problem. So we'll dig the holes for the perk test, and that's from where my septic tank is going to be over here. It is slightly downhill all the way over there, so it'll drain just fine. And the little meadow over there goes diagonally that way, so it won't even be affected by the meadow over there. I don't know what else there is to say right now. It's a lot of hard work. I actually got caught right underneath the eye right here by a branch. Even wearing my little wood cutting helmet with the earmuffs and the mesh on the front of it. The branch came right underneath that and almost got me in the eye. So count myself lucky on that one. And I have seen a few deer run through. I woke up yesterday morning and there were 3 deer come right across the meadow here, went right up the driveway. Took some pictures of them with my phone because I didn't have a battery in my GoPro. They didn't seem to mind the noise I was making inside the camper. It was still pretty early in the morning. The sun was just starting to peek up when they came through. The only reason I even saw them is because I looked out the window. There's not much wildlife up here that I've seen other than a couple field mice, some deer. I've heard about there being a bear in the area, and I've heard about there being mountain lion in the area, but I haven't seen any yet. So we'll get this area a little more cleared out. Got a bunch of logs, you can kind of see them. All the logs are up the driveway, you can barely see them through that bunch of trees right there. They're all stacked up. All the oak logs I have stacked up over there next to my truck. I have oak over there and pine over there. It's beautiful out here though. I'm going to enjoy it. Not too far from the city. About 15 minutes. So if you want to come along for the ride, see our journey, see the house being built, property being made up, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. Hang out with us. Until next time, go make something, guys.